Jesus once spoke words that still challenge us today. He said,
"Unless your righteousness surpasses that of the Pharisees,
"You will by no means enter the kingdom of heaven." At first, many people misunderstand this statement. They think Jesus was calling for more religious activity, more giving, more fasting, more praying. If the Pharisees gave 10%, then Christians must give more. If they fasted twice a week, then Christians must fast even more often. If they prayed 3 times a day, then Christians must pray more times than that. But this way of thinking misses the heart of Jesus' message. The New Testament never commands specific percentages for giving. Giving is meant to be voluntary, joyful, and guided by love, not forced by law. The Bible does not command believers to fast a certain number of times. And while Jews prayed at set hours, Christians are called to pray without ceasing, to live a life constantly oriented toward God. So Jesus was not speaking about quantity, he was speaking about quality. To explain this, Jesus went deeper into the law. The law says, "You shall not murder." But Jesus says, anyone who is angry with his brother is already guilty. The law condemns the act of murder. Jesus condemns the root of murder, anger in the heart. A person may never kill, yet still live with hatred, bitterness, and resentment. That is external righteousness. That is the righteousness of the Pharisees. Again, the law says, "Do not commit adultery." But Jesus says, anyone who looks with lust has already committed adultery in the heart. The law judges the outward act. Jesus judges the inward desire. Avoiding sin on the outside while entertaining it on the inside is still Pharisaic righteousness. In Matthew chapter 6, Jesus goes even further. He shows that even good actions, giving, praying, and fasting, can become empty when done for attention, praise, or human approval. A person may look deeply religious, yet still be far from God in the heart. This is the nature of Pharisaic righteousness. It focuses on appearance. But God's standard is different. God desires obedience that begins within, in thoughts, motives, and desires. The Apostle Paul understood this truth. Before encountering Christ, he said he was blameless under the law. Yet he later confessed that sinful desire still lived within him. Outwardly obedient, inwardly struggling. This reveals an important truth. If the inside remains unchanged, we are still living under the law, not in true righteousness. That is why Jesus said, "First cleanse the inside of the cup, and then the outside will be clean also." When the heart is transformed, the life follows. True righteousness is not about doing more religious works. It is about allowing God to purify the hidden places of the heart. When anger, bitterness, envy, lust, fear, and pride are confronted within, outward obedience flows naturally. Without inner transformation, outward obedience alone is empty and displeasing to God. Matthew 5 verse 20 is not a call to religious effort. It is a call to a higher life, a righteousness that no human being can produce on their own. Only one person ever lived in perfect inward and outward obedience, Jesus Christ. And through faith in him, we receive his Spirit, the power to live a transformed life from the inside out. As we learn to depend on him daily, victory over sin becomes possible. Not through effort, but through surrender. Victory is possible. Amen.